This is Mandela Links, and I'm asking you to check out Carnival Slayers on YouTube. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. Remember, Carnival Slayers bring you the vibes. Mandela Links endorse it to the fullest. Large. Make sure you check it out. Carnival Slayers on YouTube. Like, share, and subscribe.
Carnival Slayers.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Carnival Slayers. We are here live back against our fortnightly gossip, everything culture-wise, Caribbean-wise. But to start us off this evening, I have in front of me a message from Liz. She said she would love to be here with us this evening, but she's busy packing her bags at number 10 Downing Street. So unfortunately, she won't be with us this evening. In other news, I would like to welcome everyone to Carnival Slayers. This is Hot Sauce, and this is where you get all the hot gossip, all the hot talk, and everything hot. And tonight, it's going to be off the charts hot. And when I say off the charts, I mean just putting my name out there in the ballots to be the next Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. So if it is you'd like to vote for me, please contact me privately, and I will let you know how you can vote for me to be Prime Minister of Hot Sauce. Our wonderful panelists here with us. We have people who still have a suntan, people who still have a tan, some people who ready to do some bacchanal. Good evening to all my people from across the world joining us as well on this fantastic Thursday evening. I'm trying to keep it politically correct, but I don't know how to. I'm from Trinidad. I don't know how to. Forget this. Forget that. All right, good evening. Tonight, first things first, let me make sure we cover and welcome everybody. So if everybody give a brief introduction of themselves, who they are, and then I want to do this in two parts. Be constructive, and then we will be I don't even know what to use right now. So I'll start with Lisa. Good evening, Lisa. How are you doing?
Good evening. These are contangas, you know. Hey, I died here. Karen, take win. Hi everybody. Lisa Love here. IGB and Lisa Love. Doing my thing. Relationship coaching for women. Welcoming men as well. This month we're talking about boundaries. So go over and join me. Check it out. Good to be here. Yeah, Laurie, just do it.
Nice.
And I colors today. Everybody in the same colors today, so I have to put on my colors too.
Good evening, Love Doctor. Good evening. Go Rachel.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Rachel, aka but Mrs. Boss 001. You know, everyone knows where to come find me when you want to get your lovely Mercedes Benz. But yes, I'm here for all the bacchanal, for all the conversation. You understand? I love a good debate. So I'm here for it.
Nice. A pleasure to have you on board, Rachel, alongside the Love Doctor. So influential.
Yes, greetings, everybody. So influential.
You want to be my running mate? You want to be my running mate?
No.
For Parliament. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. So, anyway, go through, influential. Go through.
Yeah, Sir Influential here, the Flag Sound Soca Weekend. Pleasure to be here once again, and very interested in this topic this evening as it's ongoing debate throughout the whole entire year. So let's get really stuck in and see what's going on.
Aye, aye, aye. Aye, aye, aye. You sure you don't even run a mate, partner? Watch me, the perks good enough. 114,000 just because. Anyway, Nai, good evening to you as well.
Good evening. Good evening,
The boss
all.
herself. I said the boss herself is here. Good evening, Nai.
Yes. The boss. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Slayer's Hot Sauce. I'm Nai, director of Carnival Slayers. If it's your first time joining, welcome. If you have been joining us for the past how many months, thank you for your support, and welcome aboard again. This is another hot and saucy topic of conversation, and obviously your host with Mr. Super Trini vibes, with all the vibes. And over to you, Super Trini.
Well, good evening, everyone, once again. We started off the month talking about Black history on our show 2 weeks ago, and we did say that we would make it a two-part. So what I want to do for the first 50 minutes of the show, to just ease us into, we just building those blocks, is to ask everyone on the panel, through this month, did you feel celebrated within Black History Month? Have you been to many events where you felt as if the message has grown about, and the awareness of Black History Month or what Black history is has grown within your circles and your community? So I'm just throwing that out there, just to get a sense of, because we're coming to the end of the month, to get a sense of if everyone, kind of like enjoyed or is enjoying the celebration of Black history this month. So I'll start with Lisa.
If I think if I wasn't Black, I wouldn't know it was Black History Month. So I've seen things happening, obviously, within our Caribbean community. I've heard people doing different things, like in conversations, but that is just within that kind of circle. I think outside the circle, I am not aware that anybody really. I'm trying to remember if I heard anybody say anything. I can't remember anybody asking anything or saying anything about Black History Month outside of our community. I've obviously things on TV and programs like they had loose men. Loose men took over loose women this morning. So it was a panel of all Black men, which was nice to see. I didn't get to see the show actually, but it was good to see something like that happening. So I guess we're seeing little things, but it's not a big. I don't feel like it's a big celebration unless I'm missing something.
Okay. Stay influential.
I think for me, it's going to stand out less because we're no longer in full-time education. So unless you have children or you have godchildren and they are doing certain things to highlight Black History Month, then it's going to go amiss, especially when we have to also consider that this month is also important for breast cancer awareness. So, and even that didn't get much highlight this year, in my opinion, as usual. So, again, I agree with Lisa. If you're not in certain circles or you don't have children of a certain age, you would not be noticing anything about Black History Month. I don't know if that's a bad thing or a good thing. I don't think we need really external publication to let us know what's going on in Black History Month. We know that the UK is one of the places that does it every October, so we don't need to wait for McDonald's or Baldwin's or William Hill, just to name a few places, to highlight it for us to feel like it's being celebrated. We should be celebrating it all the time ourselves. We should be reminding ourselves of it. Just like how we don't need anybody to tell us when Trinidad Carnival is. We know it's either February or March, and we go. So yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, so influential. Rachel?
Hi. Okay. So for me, Black History Month, I haven't really looked to see any celebration about Black History Month. Maybe I haven't really looked out for it that much, apart from I think on Channel 4 or something like that, they were doing something, but I haven't really taken notice. I don't really celebrate so much Black History Month just because of our history supposed to be all the time. You're constantly reminded of things that aren't going right in our culture at the moment as it is. So when I look at our economical platform, our economical platform in the world is technically non-existent. We're at the bottom of the food pile. You know what I mean? Our history was it isn't making our forward path any better. Do you see what I mean? So we're not actually looking at our history and trying to turn things around. We will have people come into our own countries and we'll support them. We'll make sure that they have everything to start off their businesses and so on in our countries. We welcome them as we always do. And as history prevails itself, the man next door, the countryman, we won't buy from him. We won't do, we won't support him. We'll go to the other person and then go and buy from them and put our own people out of business. So as history prevails itself, all I can see is a long list of disasters of what the things that we've been doing. And our future was that I don't really have that much optimism just because of what we're doing. We basically got a fantastic culture which everybody uses. They market, they use us to market all their products, everything. They make money off the backs of us, and we don't actually realize how fantastic our culture is, that we have got such a big, amount of money. Was it what this world can actually? Well, we've got a lot of money, right? Because they're coming to us to make us spend our money, but we don't understand that the power of our pound or our dollar. We don't understand that, and we're constantly going to other people and getting secondary monetaries from them, and they're using us. They'll throw us a bone when they're eating steak. It's like I'm sorry, I'm tired of that. Then when I looked at Shola this week on Jeremy Vine, I saw that they called her
The Anglo, what is it? The Anglo what?
Anglo-Nigerian.
Oh my God.
Right? So all of that kind of thing. So it kind of shadows Black History Month. You got was it Kwasi who got kicked out of Liz's parliament,
My brethren.
right?
Yeah.
She's getting kicked out now, but you see what I mean? It's just like it hasn't really been for me a celebration. It just shows that, as usual, we're going to the begging bowl, picking up all the crumbs and the bones, right? While we got other people using us as scapegoats, marketing us, making money off of our backs. You know what I mean? And we're just sitting here like, like idiots waiting for the next person to be able to do something for us, which no one isn't going to do, right? You've got our leaders that aren't leading properly. Do you know what I mean? We're still paying reparations to, like some countries are paying reparations to France still, right? They're not leading. Europe and the Western world are running our countries. So for someone to tell me Black History Month, right now my history, is making me feel pretty upset, because I know my future or our future isn't really that much better, because no one's really picking up the gauntlet. All we're interested in is just either spending money on nice fancy cars. People might not like what I say, fetting, doing all of this. Yes, we have to have a nice time, but nobody's really sitting down thinking about what's next. Our children. No one's thinking about, we need to have say, for instance, life insurance or so on, so we can give our children something, right? No one's thinking about these things because our kids don't have anything, right? and we haven't had anything. The Windrush children didn't have anything. And it's just an ongoing thing where we don't in a community tell somebody how to step up. What we do is it's like crabs in the barrel. We see one man trying to get up there and then you pull him down. We don't actually employ each other like all the other nations. They all support each other. Let me tell you something. If you see how the other nations are, it doesn't matter how expensive their stuff is in the shop, they're going to support them. If we have a shop now, all the first thing is, oh, look at the price of this, blah, blah, and they'll go next door and go and shop in the other place. So to me, culture and Black History Month, it leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Until things change, I'm not interested.
Fair enough. Thank you very much, Rachel. Nai, so you were here with us 2 weeks ago and we had a very broad discussion on Black History and Black History Month. Coming to the end of the month now, have you been anywhere in supporting Black History or to any events or anything that was uplifting as opposed to giving you more to think about in a negative way?
Well, no, in a nutshell. And it is a shame that's the case. I don't know, maybe I wasn't around the right people, was in the right circles, the right environment. But no, I haven't been to anything that has been uplifting and about Black History Month. I guess I must be under a rock somewhere because I guess a lot of things went by, happened, and I didn't know about it. Now, in terms of television programs and things like that, I know there's been a few bits and bobs. I kind of tuned in a little bit into Loose Men today. It was very refreshing to see 4 brothers on the platform. But again, it's just that whole tokenism, isn't it? Like Rachel said earlier, they give us.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
It always feels like that. Like, let me just give you a little bone. Let me just give you something because,
It's penciled in every year. It's penciled in every year.
Yeah, it's like,
We
like an
have
appointment.
His on this date, at this time, we'll have his guest on. So next year, it's already lined up for next year. So
yeah, I just thought it was very tokenism. It was just screaming tokenism to me. But every time I look at TV during Black History Month, it's tokenism that I see anyway. And yeah, it just there was nothing really exciting for me. But also, I would say that with Loose Men, I would need to look at it properly again. Like look at the whole program from start to finish. Because I saw little clips here and there. I didn't really watch it because I was busy.
See, this is what, okay, so for history, right? Normally what you have with Black History Month is you either have, like what Nai said, and everyone said on the panel, you have tokenism, or you have stuff about slavery. I'm not interested in trauma. I don't want to watch trauma. Right? Why are we watching trauma and re-traumatizing each other and be like, oh, let's go and watch slavery of what happened to us back in the day? I don't want to know about trauma. Okay, if something, say for instance, something bad happened to you, you was abused or something like that as a child, whatever happened, right? Or you went through a bad time, do you want to every year, once a year, be reminded about what's happened to you? To constantly re-trauma yourself, right? And to be thinking, oh my God, this, that, and the other. Like, this is what I'm saying. It's like, I'm not interested. I don't want to hear once a year about nothing to do with slavery. It's supposed to be, I don't want to see tokenism. I want to see Black people in things every, in programs and stuff like that as a standard. I don't want it to be a special. I want it to just be a normal thing.
I think there was a university that banned non-Black or ethnic groups from some of their Black History Month events, and it became a big thing. I think I saw that a couple of weeks ago somewhere over here, I think. And they were just saying that they just wanted to have their own space where they could feel comfortable and free to talk whatever they needed to discuss within their space. And I think it was a big problem for that, because they were saying the university was encouraging segregation, all this nonsense. But obviously, it's almost like we can't even get a space. We just want something, they're just asking for a moment of they could talk amongst themselves without people, judging. Oh, well, they don't have the same experience and they judge being judged. And I think that is something that I have almost not an issue with, but I feel like it's almost like we can't be left alone. Somebody always have to, want to come and, oh, but I feel excluded. Well, that's okay. I've
But
been
then,
excluded all my life. I mean, like, just, yeah. It's
but
that
then
kind
it's
of
the
feeling I
thing.
get over here.
But then this is what I would say to that, right? So we're at the bottom of everything, right? Let's just get it out there. We're at the bottom, right? But being the way how, like, if they was to have something where it excluded black people, which they got everything, which is, it's not everything, but they have loads of things which exclude black people, right? Because we're not treated fairly across the board when it comes to institutional racism and so on, right? Now, I wouldn't want to be excluded from things, and I don't like it. So I wouldn't feel comfortable excluding people from those things. Sometimes people need to hear harsh truths, and if they don't agree with it or they have their opinion, everyone has a right to an opinion. So I would still have those same conversations, and I don't want it to be where I have to feel safe. No one should feel safe. I mean, feel unsafe to have freedom of speech. Everyone's got freedom of speech, and that's the only way that certain people are going to learn. This has to be a normal thing. Do you see? I mean, it has to be normal. It has to be spoken about. If LGBTQ or whatever, I don't know if I said it right, was it? They have a voice. They're allowed to say whatever they want to say, right? They don't have to say it in private. They don't have to have it in a small group, because it should be, every group or sector of people should be able to be open to speak, and everyone should be able to hear, because everyone's supposed to be able to have it normalized, not something which is not normal, or we have to have a little whisper over here. I don't agree with segregation, and that's what they try to do in the first place. They want everybody to be segregated and everyone to be in all different camps. I don't want different camps. I want, economically, we need to come together, because that's how each set of people be able to make money, right? But I want, as a whole, everyone to be able to be open and everything to be normalized of who we are.
Right. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you. Thank you very much. Rachel, you said different camps, right? And I've been at two Black History Month events this month. And it was good in a sense that they had the events in very notable places, i.e. Houston, Avanti, train company. They had a Black History Month celebration, and there was a lot of people there from different ethnic backgrounds. And for me, standing from where I was, playing music and stuff like that, they were there, they were having conversations, most probably about work or whatever. And there were different things put up on the boards all around the room. And probably five people took a minute to read about different people within um, the train company and within travel in the UK, and people who've been here and who've pioneered for stuff within travel in the UK that are Black, or through Black history and through the Caribbean culture and stuff like that. And probably five people probably read the stuff, because everybody was either drinking something or waiting for food to be served, listening to music, and that was it. And I went to another event where a gentleman got up and he spoke, and the room went quiet, because where he was coming from and how he was speaking, it was as if, well, he was a part of the culture. And the reason why people were quiet was because he was white, or he was Caucasian or whatever you want, he was English. So people didn't really identify with him and what he was saying. Now, people will say, oh, why is he talking about Black history? why can't he talk about Black history? Because he may have Black family, he may have Caribbean family. We don't know what his descent is like. And I think that we, within our culture, we are so quick to judge people who are on the outside looking, or people who are within our own circles who are not of Black history. We're quick to judge them, and it's disappointing because when I saw how people's faces were, I was like, y'all not even listen to what the man have to say. You're already judging him because you all think that he shouldn't say something. But those are the people we would want to say something in the right places. Those are the people that we would want to stand up for us in the right places. Yes, we all want to stand up for ourselves, right? But when push comes to shove, we literally stand up for ourselves within our own circles. But when we want to step outside of that, everybody's waiting for somebody else to action it. We're always waiting for someone else to action it, you know? Or it has to be a group of us. It has to be 20 of us or 200 of us. But if someone else is standing and saying the exact same things that we want echoed, and then we bring that person down or make that person feel uncomfortable because we don't feel that they have the right to say that. For me personally, that means we're just continually turning the same page over and over.
That's why I agree with you, and that's why I've just stopped talking, because I'm tired of hearing people talking, right? And then when you try to do stuff to help your community, all what happens is nobody appreciates it. They just pull it down. And it gets to the point where you just become tired. And I don't know, it's only recently where I've just sat down and said to myself, you know what? Nobody don't want to change. I said, in my lifetime, I know that I'm not going to see change because nobody wants to change, right? People are more interested, just like you said, they're more interested in go get a food, go and have a nice juice, you know what I mean? Go lime, you know what I mean? Party, whatever, right? People are more interested in doing that, right, than actually looking at where we need to move to economically. You will have some sectors who will buy a house, bring their family over, right? All of them live in one house. They all work and put money together to help buy a next house. All of them will have a business. They put money together to help that one have a business. Then what will happen is then some more people come over there, and it just goes on like that, right? So that by the end of it, these people come here with nothing, right? And then they end up with more. There's groups of people who came to England after the Windrush, after Black people, and they're doing economically better. I have to take my hats off to them, because you know what? The strategy that they used and the togetherness that they used, right? They've become powerful economically, and they've able to look after their children, their children's children. They'll all be made sure that they have some kind of foundation so that they, you know what I mean, they'll be fine economically as they go along. Us now, we'll say what happens, someone pass away, everyone, you see people who you never see from whoever hanging around the person who just deceased trying to get the money, right? Somebody run off with the money, no one's even thinking, all right, let's all work together. The first thing they're thinking is getting money. After that, even if that, sometimes there's not even anything left because nobody's left anything. So we're starting from scratch, and then we're not even doing anything. We're not even trying to change that fact for our children. We're not even leaving them anything. As I said, I think we care about is fetting, is it looking nice, driving nice cars, all things that don't mean anything, and running around. That's all we're interested in.
Well, I have a
And
little small car, so
That was a put put.
it doesn't
That was
matter
a
if you
put
have
put,
a
right?
little small car, but you know what I
I have a
mean.
little put there that's very loyal. She loyal.
Yeah. Well, you know what I'm saying. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just saying on the
Yeah.
yeah.
thing. Come on
Yeah,
now.
I think the focus obviously is about aesthetics and how it looking to other people, other Black people, you know, because they think that this looking rich is a thing, but they're not creating the habits and the healthy habits and the healthy mindset and the healthy spaces to even grow wealth. So then, yeah, I don't know what that is, but yeah,
What is slavery
I know
mentality?
exactly what you mean.
It's slavery
Huh?
mentality. It's slavery mentality because
Well,
before
they
the
say we
slave
can like we can't get away from it.
they were taught to like shiny things and to not like things which are of substance, and that's what was
Yeah,
taught. And
yeah,
we're still acting. That's what I said. We're still acting like we're slaves. So why am I?
mm,
Why do I want to be sitting there celebrating any form of history when we're still acting like slaves? I'm sorry, we are
yeah.
right. So until
I
we
did go
start,
to see the Woman King though, which actually is a celebration of Black history. I just remembered. If
You
I
anybody
can't.
remember
saw
you
the
was a woman
if
king. All
anybody
right.
saw the movie,
I can't remember. I swear the woman from the woman was it the lady from the Woman King? She said something crazy the other day. Can anyone remember? I swear she said something which then deflected from what
in the
kind of
movie, I
thing
don't
she
even
did.
know.
I can't believe it's killing my head now. Oh, I wish I could find it. But oh my god, I wish I could find it. But she said some skullduggery which actually deflected from you. You're sitting there standing up for
Mm.
Black history and you're saying some next madness online. So anyway, when it
So,
comes to me, I'll tell you.
so influential. From your platform, right? As a black man, can I say that? A Caribbean black man. Do you feel that your value is has increased in the world that we're living in now, or do you feel as if it's the same or nothing has changed?
Um, I feel like the value has increased to an extent for the Black Caribbean man. Definitely, we are still at the forefront of entrepreneurship. We're still thriving for academic success as well. But we are also, or I also noticed that the black women, whether they're African, Caribbean, Afro Caribbean, have definitely come to the forefront in terms of their ability to hustle, earn, stand on their own 2 feet, make a living, and impact and influence change in a holistic way. When we're speaking on things like Black history, it's continuous, it's ongoing. So there's always something new happening every month, every year to add to the vibrancy, the wonder, the amazingness of our Black history. Whether we choose to indulge in the things that reflect slavery, I feel like that's a personal choice. There's a lot else that's going on within our community that is positive, that is new, that is fresh, that we can highlight and praise. Also, things like a movie like The Woman King. I want to say that it's very important to do due diligence with such movies because, yes, it highlights slavery, but yes, it also highlights the significance that those warrior women played in fighting off the slave masters and opposing the king. And it's very important to also know that is also to take movies that depict African history with a pinch of salt. It's always better to speak to people from that country who maybe have great grandparents or grandparents who can tell you about the homie properly, tell you about the dynasty and how things really went on the ground. Because as the saying goes, the story that the hunter tells is different from what the lion is going to tell. So we have to be very mindful of that. Speaking on positive things that's happened this month alone, we've had things like Stormzy has released Mel Made Me Do It, which is a fantastic cinematography music video highlighting the black excellence that he is around and that he is connected to and knows very well. It's from people that do podcasts, fashion, other artists, media houses, sport players, just to name a few. And that is a great thing to look at if you want to consider Black history and its current state and what the potential is there for that as well. Even things like just recently we had Martin J and Lorraine and a few others do a wonderful um, film piece with Red Bull UK called Return to the Road. That again happening in Black History Month is also another positive thing to highlight how amazing things are. And it's the small building blocks like that. Things like Soca Weekender taking place in Portugal, being successful, again, adds to the notion of positive Black history and people coming together. I would also like to add that I feel like it's very important that when we're discussing what other races have been able to do, in relation to us, we have to also be mindful and be aware of and highlight the fact that institutional racism does exist, has existed, and still exists. So when those other races have been able to come over after the inrush and get better business loans, get better rates from the banks to start businesses, to buy properties, of course, some of our family members for the Windrush weren't thinking like that, and also the younger people weren't thinking about, okay, how can I preserve and sustain what my grandparents or my great grandparents or my dad has left? And it happens even in those other races too. They have their squabbles, they have their fights. So let's not pretend as if it's just in the black race.
No, I agree.
Definitely.
Let me just say
Hold
something.
on.
Let influential finish. Ask him a question. Let him finish. Let him breathe.
All right.
Let the wine breathe. Let the wine breathe.
So yeah, it's definitely important, like I said initially, to look within ourselves and in our community and what are we doing, what's happening here within our sphere that is positive, that is great, and highlight that instead of looking at, oh, we're not making the progress. No, we are making progress, slow and steady. And okay, what can we do now to try and further progress that? What can we put in place? What kind of platforms like this where we can educate people? Okay, how do we go about creating a bank where people can get better loans within our community for their businesses, for their houses, etc., etc. Because if you look at the other
That is a good.
races,
That is a
they
good
have
point.
banks.
The bank is called the Susu partner. That's called the Susu.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, we have
we
this.
don't get the same opportunity, so that would be
Yeah,
good.
yeah, we have the Susu, we have the partner, but we need it on a bigger and better and more secure scale. Because again, all the other races have banks. When you go to somewhere like Edger Road, you see these people have 3 or 4 different banks where all their businesses can go and get loans from, and that in turn allows them to have the economic power to buy property, to sustain and have a voice and have a say in what happens in that area. So that's something that we could probably delve into more. I know there are many groups, organizations. For example, Success Your Soul has a pot like that where we collect money together and say, okay, how can we now do something for the community back in a particular Caribbean country? Maybe we can do that here. There are so many Afro-Caribbeans here from all over the diaspora that if each nation had their own bank, then just like how Jamaica National has now a bank in the UK, that's a black owned bank. How do we get one for Guyana? How do we get one for Trinidad? How do we get one for St. Lucia? And then also, in turn, how do we open up a Guyanese restaurant, a Grenadian restaurant? We have one Haitian restaurant in London. How do we
Exactly. Instead of just
expand
a Caribbean
like
restaurant
that?
with one set of
Yeah.
food.
And when
Yeah,
they say it's Caribbean, really, it's just Jamaican.
I know that.
Yeah.
I have been saying that for a
So
while, and nobody's paying
So how
attention
do
to me.
we now encourage our
Yeah.
people to venture into business in a way that makes sense? And also, how do we, and I'm going to end on this, how do we encourage our people to not feel like they have to silently or be angel investors in the hair industry while they've let the Arab man run the front of it? Because some of the business you see in places, it's an Arab person at the front of it, but really it's a black person that owns it. But they know that if it's them at the front, it might not do well. Whereas some of the black businesses are doing well. But again, it's of course like what you said, Rachel. It might cost more at the black shop. Yeah, make that sacrifice and spend extra £3, £5, £10, because in the long run, that business is able to grow and sustain and expand. So yeah, there's lots of positive things happening in Black History Month. So let's try and find them out and highlight them.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Sorry if it sounds like I'm being a pessimist, but I've always been pretty straight talking on how I feel regarding things, and I'm not going to pretty up everything. You've got, Putin saying that how Africa is a grave was it a grave site for Africans, because what they do is they leave Africa, they go abroad, they set up businesses, send their kids to school, buy houses, and then when they pass away, they go home to die. Right? I put up a post in my group. I've got a group called Community Debate on Facebook where it's got a thing saying about Chinese people saying that black people are stupid, right? Because basically, as I was saying before, economically, right, people can go into our countries, we welcome them because we're welcoming people, and we should welcome people into our countries. But what happens is, because of the way how we don't support each other, I say at all, well, we do, some do, but I'm talking about on the scale that we need to, so that we can be just as economically powerful as everybody else. Was it because we're not doing that? Was it just falls short? So was it fine? We might be doing small things steady, but you can't have small things steady when there's other people who have come here and they're doing better. It doesn't matter. They all group together. We don't all group together and help each other. They group together and help each other. So it doesn't matter how small leaps and bounds that you're going. If we're not going to group together and help each other and start shopping and start what you call it, helping our family members, so on, or group of people to build something and then go to that place and we say, right, we're going to start shopping or building or doing something there. It's not going to happen. And then when it came to that woman who did the, you was talking about the film out the film out with the ladies, slavery. Now, basically, the African queens was it where they had the film out what you just said. Now, this lady actually said, Viola Davis said, when the Queen passed away, she said, Her Majesty devastated her life to the service to her country and Commonwealth with grace. And with grace, she has started her next journey. Rest in peace, Queen Elizabeth II. Condolences to the royal family. I'm not even going to say the next or what I think about it. But then somebody's come up afterwards and said, this is on Twitter, no, Viola, this isn't a bit unacceptable. You are here leading a movie betraying the power of African queens resisting a colonist. Who do you think those colonists
I believe she's disappeared there.
know?
I told my connection,
Can you still hear me?
We can hear you. We can hear you, Rachel. Yeah.
It's basically saying you can't choose that kind of level of racism. Now, how can you have, was it a film which is about African queens and strength, and then you're sitting there praising of it, sending, not saying that you shouldn't send condolences because, you can, right? But that's to the Queen who represents colonization. And if people are trying to remove, was it the Queen, or the royal family from the heads of state, I don't understand. You're doing a film about, this, the strength of these women through these times, and what the royal family was built on. I'm just saying.
All right. Thank you very much.
I don't see anything wrong with that tweet. If she's just, giving a condolence thing, I don't think she lied. Her Majesty did whatever she did with the grace that she did it with as an elder lady. She died. I don't think the one has anything to do with the other. I feel like it's just a human thing if you feel like reaching out and wishing somebody condolences.
Okay.
At the end of the day, it's death, but
difficult. That's difficult for me because at the end of the day, do you know what, the economical system, what my people and my ancestors have been in, off the backs of our people, right? Off the backs of our people and the situations of how our people are living now, they have benefited and still are benefiting. So fair enough, if that's how you feel, I understand. But I find it a bitter taste in my mouth when I know that even they've got someone like Meghan Markle who is Black in their royal family, they don't even appreciate. So I do find it hard. If you're representing a Black film like that, I find it very hard.
My point of view is a little different, and it's a little different because, okay, if it is, we're going to go with what the name of the movie is, right? Woman King. And as a king, you have a certain level of class that they say should follow you. And I believe that Viola Davison used that to show class and to show that regardless of whatever it is, we should keep ourselves ahead mentally and not get drawn in always on the emotional side of it. Because if it is we always jump on the emotional bandwagon, we definitely won't grow from our personal experiences and we won't grow as a community. If it is we constantly jump straight on the emotional bandwagon of it, or why it is somebody would do that, that's their personal choice, what they choose to say. Forwarding on from the personal choice is that a woman of her stature showing enough class to, regardless of what someone has done in their history or in their past, still showing the class to say, you know what? She was a queen. She served her people. She served us in a technical sense
Is
because
she
we
your,
are
I just
all.
want to ask you, is she your queen? Is she your queen?
Sorry, is she my queen? She's dead. How could she be my queen?
No, I'm talking about when she was alive, was she your queen?
No, she's a queen. I'm from Trinidad and Tobago.
No, but
Thank
I'm
you very
talking about,
much.
but I'm just saying that because
No,
obviously she's
she's
head of
from
state.
I don't know.
I'm just asking her, is
It's
she
not.
your
It's
queen?
not. I don't. I wouldn't take ownership of her because I didn't grow up in that culture. I didn't grow up in that understanding. And being here for 20 years, like we had this discussion 2 weeks ago, and being here for 20 years, I grew to understand that there's both sides of the coin where Black history is concerned and our culture is concerned. And my overview of it, I have 2 points of view of it from now on. I don't just have the Caribbean point of view, the Caribbean rooted point of view. I also have the British point of view, and being in England and being in London and being in a place where it is everybody has their knuckles up ready to fight once something is said or they perceive it out of place. You understand? And I get it. I honestly get it. But if it is we always put our knuckles up and ready to fight, and sometimes not just stop and wait a minute and say, we've done this before. We've done this before. And well, what happened? We still go around in the same circle. Now, if it is we stop and take a minute and say, how can we use our knuckles differently? You know, and these are the smaller things that we need to put within our own households, you know, and generate that and continuously try to push that narrative as opposed and educate within that narrative that we have that responsibility personally within our own homes to do that. You know,
Do you-
and if it is we do that and we chip away at that, the next generation, they're going to listen, you know. It's going to take time.
Listen, the only way, as I said, the only way that you could actually move forward, as I said, I don't see any other nations taking anything. You think that you can say anything negative about any other nation or be disrespectful to any other nation, then they're going to take it. They won't take it, but we've always taken it. That's the reason why we ended up in the situation in the first place. That's the reason why we even sold our own selves, right? We were slaves to a slave master. Was it then? After being a slave, go back to Africa and enslave other people and help your slave master. It's only us that do crazy stuff like that, right? And also when it comes to the respect level, you've got President Biden in a bulletproof car driving in, and then you've got all the African leaders put on a little cheap little bus. Like, you can't tell me to sit there and be like, oh, you know what? Let me just turn the other cheek.
Nobody said turn the other cheek. It's not about turning the other cheek.
No, it's not about turning the other cheek.
It's not about no. It's not turning the other cheek.
Hold on. Or say, stop holding up my knuckles. Do you know what? These people have fought us every single day, right?
Mm-hmm.
To the point where, not all, because some people don't think in that kind of way. But as you know, the system in itself has fought us all the way and fought us and beat us down and beat us down. You see, you can't fight, you can't sit here when you're in a fight and just let the person beat you. You have to just got to say it how it is. If the person doesn't respect you, you got to say it how it is. You know what? Big up Shola.
There's more than one way. There's more than one way to say something.
And a lot of times we fighting ourselves.
No, but I'm talking
a lot
about
of times we fighting ourselves. And
most of the time we fight, like she said, most of the time we're fighting ourselves.
Yeah,
we're not fighting
ourselves.
them.
We're fighting our preferences, what we've been taught, what we believe.
But we're not standing in unity. How can you go and be like, you know what? This is a champion for Black people and a fantastic film, and then you're sitting there talking about colonizers. That makes one
clip.
Sense.
That's one clip. If it is, we got the full
interview. It's just somebody wishing.
If we got the full interview,
to somebody who served. That's the end of it. It's not that serious.
No, but
on social media.
No, but I'm talking about. Do you really think, right? Any of our leaders that pass away, do you really think that they actually care? Do you think they'll be saying anything? They don't care.
Yeah, but we don't know if Viola Davis care.
We don't know. I don't even know if Viola Davis care. We just know that we got that bit of the interview.
She don't care. She just
put
do
that on.
that. She just
I know,
do
but
that
then
because she know
and
that her film coming out. She looking for that, whatever.
I know,
She
but
just
then
gonna
if
be
you're
playing
doing
nice.
that,
That is it.
but then that's really bad then, because if you're going to put that out there because your film is coming out, was it?
No, she
Remember,
just being
you're supposed,
nice.
no, but I'm talking about your representation to Black people and the plight that they go to, and you're saying, "Oh, I'm just going to be nice on this." You know what I mean? That's to
You know
me,
what's
that's a
exhausting? What is
disrespect.
exhausting is always having to fight our own. That is what is exhausting, because we're always trying to prove to people that we're strong, we're Black, we this, we shouldn't be doing this. You should. Why are you doing this? Why? Listen, if that's what somebody wants to do, I am
Listen,
not here to judge somebody
I'm
for
not
doing
going to
what
no
they
begging
thought
bowl. I
is
am not going
something
to
nice,
beg the
is a
bowl from a
gesture, is
colonizer.
something that they
I
wanted to
am not.
do. I'm not here.
I'm not.
I ain't going to line up to see no queen for no 14 hours. But at the end of the day, it's still somebody's grandmother. It's still a human being, right? It's still somebody's mother. It doesn't matter. Yeah. People was welcoming people from Hitler time. They was welcoming in them here.
That's them.
Her Majesty. What do you think she went and do?
Like
She
I
didn't do
said, that's
nothing like
them. You
Hitler.
know what?
But they
That's
was
the reason
welcoming
why I
Hitler.
have to. That's why I have to big up Shola, you know, because Shola
It's that
keeps it
deep.
real. Shola keeps it real to the end. She doesn't take any crap, and she says it as it is. She calls out all the disrespect. She calls it out, and you know, I've got to put my hands up to that woman, because you know what? The amount of ridicule, the disrespect that happens, and she stands up for it. As I said, you know what I mean? I look at her as a role model, and I say, you know what? Was it you stand up for what you believe in, and you do not take no BS from any of these people, right? Who actually
Listen, I'm not on
believe
this planet
in
to
the
fight.
Huh?
The fighting, I'm not in the fighting. If I need to fight, I will fight. But all
Well,
this
that's
fighting and
it's
this,
probably
trying to prove and trying to change people's
well, that's
minds and
probably
trying to
my
show them
Jamaican
this
way.
and
That's my Jamaican way, where I sit down and say, you know what? Maybe that's where the maroon in me is from, because I will not sit down and I won't take shit.
Well,
yeah, but
nobody
I don't
said
think
that.
any of us here would
Nobody
take
said that
shit.
we
I don't
should.
think so
Nobody said that
influential
we
would
Well,
take
should.
this is
shit.
the point that
I
I'm
don't think
saying
Nye
that
would take
I'm
shit.
not going
I
to be
don't think
sitting here for a
Karen would
colonizer
take shit.
who made money off of the backs of our people, and we're still suffering now. And I'm going to be sitting there going, oh, guess what? Blah blah blah. I wish she doesn't care about my grandmother. Does she care about my grandmother? Did she ever care about my grandmother? Does she care about
It's
me?
not for them to care about your grandmother. It's for you to care about your grandmother.
But then it's for, well, I don't need to care about their grandmother.
Well, don't care, but you can't be there sitting down telling somebody else they shouldn't care.
Listen, I think that if you're going to be if you're going to be on social media and representing something to do with Black history and Black slavery, about colonizers and about slavery, how dare you?
Yeah.
Of course, I find it an insult.
Hold on, Rachel. Nye, you have anything to add with regards to that? Because I see you just in the corner, you're just chilling.
Not really, you know. What was the original question? Because I know that you guys are digressed into so many different.
We were just I just asked Sinfincher from his point of view, you know, about his understanding as a Black man and his role within Black history and stuff like that. And then Rachel interjected with The Woman King being a movie about a woman who's a king, and Viola Davidson deciding that she's giving a little bit of an homage to the Queen, which is fine, I think, you know. But like I said, and I said it before, that social media then took that one clip and put it out there. We don't know what was said in the full interview. You understand? What she spoke about in the full interview, but we took 20 words and now it puts everybody on their backs, or has their backs up, or in other words, has their knuckles up. So my final question,
that wasn't an interview. That's what she said on Twitter. Just to let you know, if you want, I can bring it up.
Yeah, no problem. I saw it as well. I saw it on Twitter as well, but I just let it go. She just said something and kept it moving. So now, from Black woman's point of view, because you know you spoke about this 2 weeks ago, where do you feel is the best way for you personally and within our community that we can go forward or move forward in putting a positive spin on our history?
I think like what I said 2 weeks ago, rather than calling it Black History Month, I think the name needs to change. There needs to be less tokenism, and there needs to be more activities within ourselves, within our communities, and making sure that there are events that represent what, you know, if we are to change the name from Black History Month to something else, let's say Black Upliftment Month, that it's done in a positive way and constructively.
Thank you very much.
That's my only take on it, really. Because like I said, I think when it comes to Black History Month in the UK, it's just so diluted. It's just so, it's not the forefront. It's not at the forefront. So I think that is the first place we need to start working on, is getting it to the forefront and it being meaningful, and we all feel proud and represented from it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I want to say thank you to all my panelists that gave their points of views within Black History. As we did promise our viewers that it was going to be a two-part, and just wanted to get the view of the panelists who weren't here 2 weeks ago to share their understanding and their, from their point of views on Black history and the celebration of Black History Month in the UK. I could take off my jacket because I know it's going to get... Give me a minute, Ollie. Give me a minute. Can I get some makeup, please? Makeup?
The temperature hot.
Yeah, it's about to get... I'm preparing myself. Ollie, prepare yourself. Ollie, have all your water?
You have your water?
Yeah.
Listen, you have 10 more minutes because I have to leave in about 10 minutes.
Kwasi! Yeah.
Kwasi, give me 2 beers there.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. This is Hot Sauce, Slayer's Hot Sauce, and we've concluded on our Black History Month, and we say thank you to everyone that was here 2 weeks ago, and also to everyone here right now. So we're getting into some sauce. Oh, my goodness.
Bacchanal.
I need to stop. That's not. Hold on. Let me make sure.
Stripping?
Yeah. Whew.
Well, he fitting in well with the next topic.
We're going to be talking culture versus entertainment. Is it the same thing? Is it different? The first question I want to ask, right? Within our culture and within the entertainment sector of our culture, do we have to film everything that we see and then post it?
Well, that's the flick right now. That was
Everything, right?
I not doing it, but I want to do it.
Now you think we should be filming everything and just putting it all day?
Well, I guess we have to start with what is considered as everything. Now, I personally have an issue with if someone has collapsed on the street.
Yeah.
Right? And the first thing, like say 10, 15, maybe 20 years ago, the first thing that people used to do was call 999. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, people are quickly going onto their Snapchat or going live on Facebook. You know what I mean? Their camera phone is out rather than making sure that person's got help. I have an issue with that. Okay? Right. Now, when you're in a party now, and you are a videographer or you are a content creator, there's quite a few of us in the scene that are content creators, I myself included. And I will put my hands up, I will admit that you are looking for juicy moments. You are looking for entertaining moments, right? Especially when you are either, someone who's been paid or affiliated with that particular brand that, that you're in that party for, to create content, to get content, right? And that means capturing pretty much as much as you can, capturing everything. Sometimes, as a content creator myself, you can have your camera going all about the place, just checking the room out, right? And then you go home and then you're looking at the content and you think, oh yeah, that looks interesting, that looks good. Yeah, I think this would, be engaging or whatever. And then you put it together, you edit it, and then you post it, right? 9 times out of 10, you don't know what's gonna go viral.
Mm. You
ain't got a clue what's gonna go viral. The things that you think would do well and go viral, 9 times out of 10 don't. It's those gems that you didn't think would be such a big deal that turn into a big deal. So
psychology of human beings.
Yeah. So do we need to film everything? Well, yeah, we kind of do, because we don't know what's gonna hit. And if you're working on behalf of someone, or you're doing content for someone or for a brand or whatever, I mean, that is what your job is there to do, is to capture the good moments or certain interesting moments, because it helps them with what they need to do for future promotions and selling, if it's packages or fete tickets or whatever. It's all marketing, isn't it?
Okay. All right. I hear you. You said they were juicy, right? I heard that word like a few times. Juicy stuff, right? Where is the line for juicy stuff or juicy content that could damage our image as a culture? Where is that line? Where is the line where it is we recognize, yeah, this thing wet, it ready, we could just go hard with it. But then do most of us stop and think, what is that image going to create for our culture? And would we accept it if we saw it on a different platform?
Okay, so first of all, we have to go back to the beginning. How did it start? Right?
Social media.
No. Yeah, we are talking about social media. Mm-hmm. Social media is just a vessel, though. At the end of the day, we're in a fete, we're in a party. The things that's going on now was going on 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. In my mom and dad's days, back in the day when
without camera phone, love, because me I tell you.
Okay, but at the end of the day, I remember hearing stories of when my mum was younger, going to college or whatever, and they used the grown-ups back then used to be rubbing up against
the
wall all sweat up and thing, and they're rubbing against the wall and all this thing that they're doing. You understand? Now, I'm sure if back then, if there was camera phones as they are now out at that time, that we probably be having similar conversations like what we're having today.
I don't know.
Now, I feel, in my opinion, right, POV, right, disclaimer, that it starts from the music. Because you got to think to yourself, what put those people in that situation in the first place? It's the music.
So not their mentality, not their slackness.
We're starting off with the music, okay?
Okay.
The music.
I just said it's their music. I don't care. So.
I know, but then the music we listen. Some people interpret and take in soca differently, isn't it? So some people would want to while out and some people wouldn't. But at the end of the day, I feel like it starts from the music. Yes, we could hold people accountable, responsible for certain things and certain behaviors and slackness and all the rest of it. But unfortunately, whether we would like to admit it or not, sex sells. 1, 2. Even if, and I'm talking from experience, even if you put out the most cultured content out there, it ain't going nowhere. People don't like it. People are not going to like it. They're not going to press like.
Why?
Yeah. I would like to know why too. Because as I said, even for me, I've been doing Carnival Slayers on Instagram for over 5 years now. Oh, Rachel's gone. I don't know where she's disappeared to. Hopefully she'll come back. Right. I've been doing it for over 5 years now. And when I have featured women who are in very cultured costumes, traditional mass, it doesn't go nowhere. Yeah, you're not going to get a viral moment. You're not going to get over 3,000 people liking that particular picture. It's just not going to happen. But the minute you start putting out skimpy costumes, hopefully Rachel's coming through. Bear with me 1 second, guys.
With Bam Bam Wednesdays. I want to make Bam Bam Wednesdays, girl. I have to get myself in a gear for Bam Bam Wednesdays.
Yes. Well, it's a wonderful Wednesday. That's what our Wednesdays is about. Yeah. But Bam Bam Wednesday. Okay, I'll make a note of that. Right. But people would complain about, oh, our culture, everything is our culture, right? And I'm very cultured. Okay, I've been listening to soca. I've been like since as a fetus, as I say to people, right? That's what I've been brought up in. I've been brought up in a Caribbean home. Oh gosh, I'm getting interrupted by the little one. Yes, hello, bye bye. Thank you. Go to bed.
All right. Off the heels of Nye, right? She'll be back in a minute.
Sorry. Yes, as I was saying, because I don't want to miss my point. Right. So for me, actually, I think I have missed my point. Right. I've been listening to soca. I've been coming from a Caribbean home.
Yeah.
Listening to soca from the off. What is the actual point I was trying to make there?
Because of the culture coming from.
You were saying you're very cultured.
Right, I'm very cultured. Yes, right. So I was saying I'm very cultured. So I'm all about the culture, obviously. But at the same time, there's people who are from the culture, who are about the culture, and they wouldn't gravitate to cultured content. They would rather gravitate to the skimpier or the more slack content. And to me, I just think it's hypocritical then. Because you can't be then saying, oh, no, it's about the culture. We need to do better. We need to do this. We need to do that. But then the content you're liking is not that. It's the opposite.
But how do you know they're not liking? How do you know that they're not liking the other content as well, like cultured content, as opposed to colorful content of culture? How do you know?
I see people's habits. I see what people are liking.
Okay.
Just because Instagram have taken away, anyone who's been on Instagram since 2013 will know that it used to have like a notifications list of what people have liked, and they've removed that. I wonder why. Yeah. But there's ways of telling who's like what. So again, in terms of this week, as an example, because this is all stemmed from content that was created and brought to the attention from Portugal, which me and Sir Influential was at, Soca Weekender. There's a couple of things that we just need to say on that one. Well, from my perspective anyway.
Do you have the clip lined up?
Couple,
do you have the clip lined up for us so that everyone can see it?
I could add it in a second. I could add it in a second when you go to someone else talking.
No problem.
But what was I going to say now? Yeah.
You were saying the couple.
It was an actual couple. It was man and woman, boyfriend and girlfriend. I personally didn't see anything wrong with how they were enjoying themselves. That was what they were doing. They were enjoying themselves. They were dancing. Okay. Yes, the camera happened to be there at that time. It was a moment. And, to some people, it's like, oh my gosh, our culture, what's happening to soca, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, some of the people that was complaining or in the comments and having all these opinions are the same people that will be walking up hard to that song.
Gripping, pulling.
And they're clapping.
Bring the water.
Why was it? No, that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about the clapping, gripping,
Yeah,
right?
I remember, yes.
Because in the water, I could probably play that in front of my child. Can I play the other one in front of my child? No, I can't. No, when he's saying what's it with the pussy muscle. So big
Yeah.
difference. You know what I mean? So my thing is, don't be complaining, but then you're supporting the narrative that is slack. That's it.
Okay.
And
All right.
I could make the comparison because at the end of the day, since I started my page back in 2017 to now, that is what people prefer to see, slackness. Because when I post sensible stuff, motivational stuff, inspirational stuff, people are not as interested.
100%. I agree with you. It's the same as on my platform, as you see. Nai is a moderator on my platform, right? If I post anything or you post anything which is, you know, for the community or something which is, you know, a serious post, you hardly see anybody commenting on it. Soon as you put up anything controversial with some piece of slackness or, you know what I mean, some bacchanal on it, straight away, how many people going back and forth, chat, everyone's scrolling through. And that's what I noticed well, my group I've had for 2 years, and I noticed that because I used to get frustrated. I've stopped being frustrated now. And that's really why I'm saying about my views before. I'm stopped being frustrated now because I realize that people are not interested in serious things. They want to talk about, you know, who said what, she said this one wind up underneath this one, and this
No,
one chat.
people have always been like that, you know. That's been an age-old tradition within the Caribbean culture. We've always been like that. The only difference is now that everybody just put all of their garbage, their baggage, their lock, stock, and two smoking barrels on social media. So you have so much more to talk about, and we just gravitate to something that is always so ugly and nasty and degrading and disrespectful. You understand? And then we will laugh about it. And don't get me wrong, yeah, we'll laugh about it. But if it was a jump in your backyard, you wouldn't be laughing. Yeah, Lisa.
But that's the whole
I just
point.
want to say because I'm gonna have to leave you.
I know.
And yeah, but like for me personally, I just glad I was able to do all my enjoying of life in terms of public enjoying of life before all this social media, before all this camera phone. I I think I had a peanut phone, the Motorola phone. That is the kind of
Yeah,
phone I had.
yeah.
Listen, because we know we all do little things that you wasn't proud of, you was places
Of
you wasn't
course.
go, all them different things. So, but all this posting and this live stuff and this, I find it a lot to keep up with.
Yeah.
Unless you
Man,
actually have a platform like how you have the community debate, so influential. If you're doing stuff away and you want people to see, well, all right, this is what I'm doing, blah blah blah. Nice, same thing with you. Trini, you doing stuff with Just Vibe, so yeah, we live now, blah blah blah. That has a purpose. Whereas most of these things I find just is it's kind of entertaining, but then it's like it's kind of irky. Sometimes when I look at things, I'm like, all right, well, let's we just take a bull in the party then, like
All right. Lisa, before you go, right? Lisa,
literally.
before you go, you saw the video from the weekender with the couple enjoying
Yeah,
themselves.
yeah.
Would you like that on social media if it was you?
To be honest with you, I don't
And your
even
man?
care.
You don't care?
If
Okay.
it's me and my man, I don't care.
Okay.
For me
Yeah,
personally, I
as
don't.
long as he's your man, innit?
No, but well, even if he was somebody else, and
Well,
me and no, in that moment he was my man, so me in business with nobody else. If I'm honest with
well,
you,
it's true.
shame is something I don't really cater to too tough. I don't know if you can understand what I mean. Like people always out here trying to make you feel a certain way, but you gotta know what you want and what you feeling. And that for me it wasn't shameful. Because the way how he was holding her and the way she was responding to him, you could tell that they were in something. So for me personally, and she had her clothes between her leg, and she was a bit more covered and whatever. So it's not like she was skin out leg, cat size, body side, so and all this kind of stuff. Everything outside. But to be honest, I do not give up. I really have no fucks to give because I'm a big grown ass woman. So if you feel like you have something on me, well, go brave.
Lisa, hold that up. Now, could you get the footage of the Bacchanal boys in Miami? Dripping.
Oh Lord, I don't actually have that to hand.
Because
but
I want to make sure. I want to make sure that the hot sauce.
What channel was it on?
It was check on Bacchanal. Check on their page. It's on their page 100%.
All right.
Because I want to make sure that the viewers and everyone gets a full understanding of both sides of that thing. You understand? Lisa, thank you very much for joining us. Give them one more shout out, Lisa, before you give them one more shout out and let them know where they can find you and what it is you're all about before you go there.
Being Lisa Love, relationship coaching for women, because I've been through it. And yeah, just doing my thing out here, getting it done on Instagram. Nice to be here with you. Sorry, I had to cut out, but yeah, early start.
Remember, vote for me, right? Vote for me in the next elections. Vote for me.
Yeah.
Vote for me. Sorry, shoot. Hold on. Vote for me. Yeah, vote for me.
Send me some food. You go get my vote.
Oh, jar and stuff. All right. P, I'm going to bed. Good night. P, I'm going to bed.
Bye, Rachel. Bye now. Bye.
Lisa, I just wanted to say, nice speaking with you. And you know what you said, that you don't even watch what people are doing. Exactly how I am. I don't even watch what people make. People enjoy this and leave people alone.
Yeah.
Leave them alone. Like mind your funky business and leave them alone. Thank you.
Bye.
All right. So we're going to get some clips here, right, which will give us a more in-depth view and understanding of where we have in discussion of culture versus entertainment, and if there's a line that is sometimes crossed and can be easily crossed in what doesn't belong in the culture category and what doesn't belong in the entertainment category. And that line, real faint these days, I ain't even going to lie to you. I have to put on some binoculars to see the line these days. And it's very, like, some binoculars, or you have to use a telescope.
That line is just getting more blurry, isn't it?
It's blurry is an understatement. It's like you're watching from underwater with no goggles on. You understand? Now,
I've got the clip, by the way. I've got the clip for Portugal.
Okay, go through the clip and then I'll go to the influential of that clip one time.
All right. Okay. Let's play.
Left side la right side la cock up sa tic tac sa nemo à sous genou. Left side right side and allez now this hand la flat let vie monter clap.
Well, boy, plap. That was the song, right? That was the song, right? Or that was the sound? That was the song, or that was the song?
That was the song, but
yeah. The song. Okay, all right. So, influential, go through.
Right. So, just to say, Soccer Weekend of 2022 was amazing. Portugal again next year, the 19th to the 23rd of October. Right. Straight away, and it's already been said, there is the culture and then there's the entertainment, and we have to remind ourselves that the culture is very entertaining, it's very vibrant, it's very sensual. Yes, it has become hypersexualized to an extent, but in that particular clip, and when you go on the Instagram, you will see that the people that are commenting saying, what is this on my culture? They are not from the UK. The UK people have to come in and say, hey, this girl and the guy in the forefront of the video, they're a couple. Okay, it's fine, it's normal. You'd see that same wine in any soccer fete. We're in a fete. People can walk up and wind up as couples as they please. They're in a fete. It's not carnival on the road where you're meant to be celebrating your ancestors, which is why what the Bacchanal boys did with the girl rubbing up on his face like that, and he put her in the position.
Don't tell them. Don't tell
Yeah,
them
you're gonna
yet.
see it. And that at carnival is not a true representation of carnival. Also, going back to the fetes or the parties, whether it's soca or dance or zest, we still wouldn't appreciate if we saw, for example, a man pick up a woman, whether even if it's his woman, and rub up her body like that in his face, even in a fete. That is, of course, again above the line. There's also a viral clip of a grown man at an American festival, hip hop festival in the Caribbean, and there's like four women bouncing their asses on his head, and he's drowning in the pool. That is also not acceptable. So, of course, we want the culture to get highlighted in its truest essence and form. You are going to see Bam Bam rolling. You are going to see people whining together, waist to waist, grain to grain. As you said before, whine till the paper, put till the paper on the wall rub out. Your parents weren't two-stepping. They were whining and grinding. Just because time has evolved and the wine has gotten faster, it's coming from then till now. Cool. So,
Hmm.
there's not a problem with that. Now, of course, like Nice said as well, you're going to capture everything. You're selling the enjoyment of soca. That's what soca is about. Enjoyment, just like dancehall, just like all of the other Caribbean genres. Would you have an issue with this if you went to a salsa class where it's a random man whining on your woman front to front and he's spinning her, pulling her in, and having her wind up and down on his leg? Nobody ever has this issue with salsa, even though it's more intimate and more erotic than soca. But we never have this issue. Why is that? Why is that? So we need to bear that in mind. When we're trying to nitpick at things, why are we nitpicking at something that doesn't need to be nitpicked at? Let people, like we've all unanimously said now, let people enjoy within reason, of course. As you can hear, I'm the person on the mic. The song is Umpa Plat. Nobody's actually dancing to what the song is saying.
Uh-huh.
And this is also another issue when I say to people that what they consider soca is not actually soca, because Dennery is not soca. The rhythm pattern is not soca, but people call it a subgenre of soca. He's saying in the song the lady should tick-tock basically, make the left side bounce, make the right side bounce, and you go down. And why? If you see the video of me at Caribbean Rocks when I danced with the girl to the same song, you will see that we were dancing to the song in its actual. If you were to translate to English, oh yeah, you go left, I go left. You go right, I go right. But again, why are we policing people to so stringent? Oh no, you can't do that with your partner. Like the like
Mm.
like the lady said, she has on her clothes. She looks respectable. It's a vibe. We're celebrating a vibe. We're enjoying the vibe. Like, let's not pretend like soca is not about the vibe. Just like how you wouldn't complain when you see the girl in her short shorts and she's whining, whining, whining. You're not saying, "Nah, them shorts they're too short." No.
Of course
You're
I
saying,
say
"Oh,
that. Of course I say that. I say that 1 billion% I say that. I say it. I say it conventional that the battery rider murder.
right, there you go." So it's very important to remember, like, this is the first soccer weekend back after the pandemic. Let people let their hair down. Let people enjoy themselves within reason. And remember, this is, can I add as well, it's adult entertainment. Like, it's adults doing what adults do,
Okay.
within reason, of course. Let's not forget that. Too often we like to say, oh, well, no, it's adults dealing with adults. Just like our children can't deal with politics, adult entertainment is for adults to deal with. Right? Makes sense?
Yeah, yeah, I
Right.
hear you. I hear
So,
you.
yeah, and of course, there's time and place. That's how, when you mention the back on the boys things, it's a perfect comparison.
Mm-hmm.
That notion, and Nai's going to show it soon, that notion, that movement at a carnival, of course, no way. Even in a fete, I would say still no way. Because like you said, or like we said, there's a faint line. There's a thing between, soft porn and, you're getting a real stink, real wild, real bacchanal, real excitement. And let's not lie, music is a powerful thing. And it does arouse emotions, sensations, and vibrations. So, like what Lisa said, she might hear umpa plat and not move to the music at all. It might not move her. It might make Nye whine and touch her toe. It might make you bust a split. Should I say to you that, you know what, Super Trini, you're a 6 foot something plus man, you can't be busting no splits in my dance.
Why not? I used to do it all the time. Anyway, so that's not about me. It's not about me. Carry on.
Right. You understand? It might make Rachel go and buy out the bar. Should I say to Rachel, why are you buying out the bar? This is my favorite tune. I want to buy out the bar. As long as you're not harming anybody, enjoy yourself.
All
It's
right.
Soca Weekend.
All right,
So make sure you're all there. Make sure all of you are there 2023, the 19th to the 23rd of October. Cheeky plug. So yeah. But let's get the next clip up and then we can continue the conversation.
First of all, you guys said it's on Bacchanal Boys' page. Do you know how often they post? Like, come on now.
Oh, it's not on there?
Send me the link in our WhatsApp and then I'll put it on.
All right. I like. Influence, if we can try and find it, huh? See if we can try and find it. Rachel, you saw the video, right?
Yes, I did.
I heard your comments with in a line with Lisa. You know, leave people business alone and mind your own and whatever. You understand? Now, if that was you and your man, or you and the person that you went on a fete with, and then somebody take a video of that, and they put that on social media, what is your first response?
Well, first of all, I wouldn't really be happy because that's my personal moment with me and my partner. And the thing is, sorry?
I said get a room there.
No, I don't want to get a room. I want wine. Anyway, right? Yeah. So it's the point that if I go out, if I go out with my man, that's what I'd, you know what I mean? If I want to dance with my partner, anyhow, we want to dance because it's me and that person. You understand? Even when I go to fete anyway, it's not often that I dance with someone anyway that much. I prefer to just be jamming with my girls and whining and having a lime and just, you know what I mean, laughing, just catching joke and just catch up with my friends, right? But if I'm there going to be whining like that, right, that would be my man who I'd be winding up like that with. And if it's for someone to be taking away our moment like that, putting it on social media and saying that I'm destroying the culture because me and my man is whining and we're having fun, especially we're on holiday. I'm on holiday with my man and we're having a moment in the adult section, I would be upset. Now, the same thing is the difference of when you've got girls jumping around whining and you've got your tits falling out. I've been to places where all their whole of their breasts is hanging out, and I mean out, not some out, come out, they don't business. Man is giving them some serious dag and they're all laughing, giggling and rolling around the floor and their breast is hanging out, right? I don't think that looks good. It looks cheap, right? That's my personal.
You mean the bra is cheap? I mean, the bra cheap, right?
No, there was no bra. The bra come out, all titty, areola, the boat, everything come out.
Okay, all right.
Right? There was no nipple cover, everything out. Right? Yes, it's out and bad. Right? So if I see a woman them doing that, and then you go one man daggering them like that, right? That then becomes that doesn't make our culture look nice. That's my personal opinion. But then if you've got people jumping up and jumping into girls' lap and doing all different kinds of stuff, remember we have artists doing all these kind of things, plus the songs that we're singing, right? The songs that we're singing, we're talking about all different kind of things. So at the end of the day, if you're going to be singing about those kind of things, right, you're going to have to expect that people are going to be doing them kind of stuff. And we can't get upset if you see woman rubbing up her batty in man's face or pussy up in man's face, excuse me. You can't get upset because the songs that they're singing, I mean, look, they're singing some songs, look, using boppy bop. What is that? You know what that is?
Air freshener?
Right? Exactly, air freshener. She's using the boppy bop. So listen, you can't be upset when people are dancing like that if you're singing slackness. Just like you can't be upset when people are when you have these young boys killing each other and they're having them drill tunes. So we do have to take responsibility for some things. But I think personally, if you're dancing with your man, you should be left alone. Leave the people them alone.
Right.
And
Okay.
let me jump back in again. I love that. Thank you.
I was going to invite you back.
Now I've sent that to you. It's not on their page. It's on someone else's page. I found it because they're tagged. So yeah, I've sent it to you on the WhatsApp. So yeah, it's again to further add to that, to add to what we were saying. Like, let's not pretend like. And somebody said this on a different post. Let's stop trying to pretend like our culture is not sensual, like it's wrong to whine provocatively or seductively or erotically. It's not wrong. It's not wrong. You've been learning to whine from young. Obviously, everything within reason, but you've been learning to whine from young. And as you get older and older and older, you're then exposed to more and more and more. It's almost like a rites of passage. Like, you're a big person now. You're supposed to kind of know to wind down low and control the wine and not drop on your back and drop the woman. Likewise, you're supposed to be able to handle your liquor. You're supposed to can swim, drive, cook, etc. All these things. So everything within reason, everything within moderation, of course. But remember, adult play, adult entertainment is for the adults. And I'm going to keep stressing that. When you see people out at a soca weekender or a soca festival and they're enjoying themselves within reason, of course, you don't want to see titty dropping out. You don't want to see people, unclothed, because obviously public indecency is not allowed in the Caribbean at all, or anywhere for that matter. It's not right unless you're on a nudist beach. And I have yet to see a soca festival or a soca event on a nudist beach. I don't know how that would work.
If you're coming soon to a country near you.
To a country near you, most of the time, and I think you'd be there leading the way.
No, me? Well, if it was in my house, if that country's in my house, no problem.
Again, it's important to, it's just branding, it's images, everything, because let's not pretend like this is not a part of the culture, and it's highlighting it in a beautiful way. Like, people are having a good time, they were enjoying themselves, nobody was hurt, nobody was injured. Of course, we're not doing the extremities of my culture, Jamaican, where people are jumping off speaker boxes and potentially hurting themselves and the woman. No, and you notice now, even in dancehall, that's been significantly reduced. One time that was the in thing.
Now they're still doing that. Come on, there's like Killer is still jumping.
I said it's been reduced. I said it's been reduced. I didn't say stopped. I said it's been reduced. It's been heavily reduced.
It's not trending as much.
No, we're talking about Killer trending, man. He's trending. He's trending. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's very important to be mindful of that and to enjoy that, and let the people free up, because again, everybody's no answer that soca is free up music. So if you come to soca weekender and you're not freeing up in your own way, because for example, that's like, imagine if we went around and we only showed the videos of people just swaying to the side. You're gonna say, boy, soca weekender boring, boy.
That is the thing that people say.
Yeah, and
like, it looked dead, man. The vibes wasn't there.
Vibes dead. Or all you see is Super Trini just cooking. You don't see Super Trini whining or DJing. All you see is just cooking.
Just wine when I cooking partner.
So you need that balance of both to highlight the culture. That's what it's about. Every culture does that. And let's not pretend as if it's something, oh my God, this person. No. You have villages, tribes in Africa where there's a whole big group of them. The women whining in their long skirts, whining and jiggling and doing the original form of twerking, and the men are around watching. I wish I could find the clip now. If I can find it, I'll send it to you.
It's even within other communities as well that happens.
Yeah,
wait,
even
I have a clip
in that same video,
they're jumping in the air. The South Africans, right? It's a Zulu tribe, and the women jumping up in the air and slamming them back straight back down on the floor.
Exactly. And in the clip I'm talking about, the women are whining together, like how we have the boom boom wall. The women are whining together, and everybody else is around them. And one of the young men or one of the men that get excited try to come and take a wine, so to speak. And one of the older men had to stop him and say, yo, that's not your time. This is their time to just, this is like almost like a ceremony or like a moment of just women just whining. And even we see that in the soca as well, where you can come to something like Soca Weekender and the ladies just have that song where they just want to whine alone. Like the video that you recently posted now, where the lady's in the burgundy shorts and she deflects the guy, which just wants to whine up herself. All of these things. Would you then say, oh, that's not the culture? Why should I give the man a wine? No. The culture is you can bust a wine, and when you want to take a wine, you take a wine. When you don't want to take a wine, you don't take a wine. And he gracefully accepted it, and you move on. So big up, man, every time. So more viral moments to come, more niceness to come, and Soca Weekend of 2023. We're in Portugal. Get yourself booked in. Hotels are selling out. So by the time you see this, hurry up and go to bookings.com. And I want to see all I want to there.
All right.
And just to chime in after Mr. So Influential, yes, it was a really good weekend. Highly recommend it. Shout out to the event boys on IG for the previous clip that I just showed. Spoke to him earlier. Obviously, again, wasn't planned. It wasn't expected to be a viral moment. It just turned into one. And yeah, as I said, some of the politicians in the comments, I've seen them, walking up to songs that are given certain instructions. So, boy.
Right.
I don't know what all the fuss is about.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And as I said, it starts from the music and then everything else follows. But each to their own. I'm very much for the culture, but can we start normalizing liking cultural things, please? And perhaps can we start making cultural things go viral in the same way as slackness does? Yeah?
Well,
that's my take on that. And the other video I've got is ready, by the way.
All right. So before you go to the other video, I want to remind everyone that this is Slayer's Hot Sauce. We're here every fortnight. We have a fantastic panel, as always, bringing you something fresh, something new, something saucy.
We try.
And everything is real, because our panelists, they all come from different backgrounds, and they all bring their own identity to Slayer's Hot Sauce. And make sure you'll join us. Make sure you follow us. And make sure you pass it on to somebody who never hear about this sauce before. Slayer's Hot Sauce. We're here every fortnight on a Thursday evening. We're here. So, let's know. I need to drink some water before you play that thing tonight. Hold on, Hold on.
All right. You got a toll as well, yeah?
No, not toll. I good. I haven't given my point of view of what I saw with Soca Weekender, but I will give an overview when we show this clip. All right. So Miami Carnival was just the other day, and there was a clip that went viral, and a lot of people sent it to me. A lot of people questioned me and asked me, well, yo, Super, when can I go to this? I'm like, why do you want to go to that? No, seriously. Seriously. And that's all I'm going to say to now. They asked me, when can they go to this? Play the clip, please, now. Oh, sorry, I was catching up on my my book there. Sorry. Whew. Whew. Oh yeah. If you was in a party and you just happened to see that happening, whew. Rachel, Rachel, you can uncover your eyes now. You can uncover your eyes. You could be in a party. You could be on the road for Carnival, right? It could be the break of dawn. It could be the middle of the night. You see that happening.
Oh my God.
Your initial reaction is what? I only want initial reaction, eh? What is your initial reaction, Rachel? Okay. Now, what is your first reaction?
Well, I mean,
What is your first reaction?
sorry, you asking me?
Yeah, asking everybody your first reaction. I only want like literally give me the boom. It hit. You see it? You're like, what's your first reaction? You just see it there. For the first time you see it.
I mean, I remember seeing it when it first dropped, and I didn't realize it actually went viral. I did see it.
No, you can't review it. You can't review it. Don't watch it again. First reaction.
No. I was just trying to get rid of this damn thing. Gosh, yeah, cool. It's finally gone. Right. So, my take on it. Well, first of all, Back in Our Boys, always tagging me and stuff. They're always sending me stuff as well in the DMs and stuff. So it's nothing new. It was no surprise to me. As a female, would I have a random man? Okay, maybe she might have known him. I definitely know they're not a couple, but okay, let's pretend that she does know him, so she is comfortable with him. I still wouldn't be jamming with one of my brethrens like that. It's like me and Sir Influential at Carnival, and I've got him wrapped around in between my legs, in between my cat. Like,
don't make him he's seeing heaven right now.
I mean, that was all these Christmases and birthdays come at once, but like.
Listen, keep it professional. I'm a professional. There's time and place. We can book a flight tomorrow and go back to Portugal, but professional. Keep it professional. Like I said, keep it professional.
On
that
this
is
day
not for
in the reading of the Carnival.
I couldn't do that with one of my brethrens, innit? Like, I could dance with one of my brethrens, but I'm not dancing like that with one of my brethrens. I don't care how comfortable we are. I don't care if we've known each other since we were like in Pampers. It's just not gonna happen, innit? Now, would I dance like that at Carnival with my own man?
No. Don't say. If you say yes, oh my God.
Nah, but if I was feeling adventurous, then you know what I mean. Then
you can do that.
It won't be on camera, innit? We'll step aside.
You can save that for the apartment.
Like we'll have a warm-up session, but like
hold on. My first question, My first question, is it always necessary to film every single thing we see?
Yes, because we don't know what's gonna blow.
You said okay. She said that. I said that.
Yeah. But I'm talking from a content creator's perspective.
Okay. I will say one thing, right? Okay. If I saw madness like that, like I have, I will film it.
Yeah, I know you would.
I would. Listen, don't do no fuckery anywhere near me, because I'm gonna catch you doing it. And if I see that, so obviously my eyes want to pop, but my hand will be on my phone straight away. I'll be like, that's it.
I can guarantee whoever was filming probably didn't know it was gonna have a viral moment.
Well, we don't know now. We don't know. We can only speculate.
Boys, you gotta remember, they do how many carnivals? They get on. They're called Back in Our Boys. I mean, the title in
I know them.
You know, the proof is in the pudding, innit? You know what it says on the tin. That is what these men are about. So they're filming all the time. They don't know what's gonna bust. They don't know what's gonna turn into a viral moment. You know what I'm saying? But that one did.
Okay.
Yeah, well, come on. Obviously, it's different from getting slammed up. She just getting slammed up against the wall. Listen, the woman bumps here, pum everything. The cat, this up.
Let's hold on, Saint Blanton. Rachel.
Wait, the The man, even when he left and danced with all 10 girls after that, he will still smell that same bum
Okay,
stick.
hey. I said, I want to tell you, influential. Hear me out, right? Influential. With your status, right? As ambassador for Soca Weekend, as as an entertainer, a woman jump up on you and say, "I want the Bacchanal special." Right? Let me
The
know.
Bacchanal special, you know.
The Bacchanal special.
Number
You know?
5.
Yeah, no, not number 5. That's my favorite number.
Man's
Number 10
making
is
it like
something.
seem like it's some Chinese takeaway,
Yeah.
man.
Influential. Unmute yourself, please. You need to talk now. Yeah, nothing can be in your mouth. Talk. Let me hear you. Yeah?
So, like I said,
You
like
want
I
full
said,
Caribbean breakfast. She says she want the full Caribbean breakfast.
Brrr.
Remember that.
Ackee and
Everything.
saltfish.
Yeah. and 2 pieces of dumpling and pear.
Hey. Yam
right.
and cassava.
So let me answer. And I'm being
and you want
truthful.
the lime to run it
Rachel,
down.
he speaks.
Sorry, Sam.
And I'm being very truthful. As wild as I am, you're not getting that from me in no fete or jam. I would tell you, you want the Bacchanal special? Come to room 512 after the party done. And we can room ram and have some fun. But
Oh,
you're not getting that
Mhm.
in the dance. Remember, my mother have Instagram. So there's only so much wildness I can do.
Is your mom really on IG?
My mom is on IG. My mom messages me all the time in DM. And additionally, her
Later.
cousins in America send her everything that I do. So she might see it a month or a couple weeks late, but she says, so hold on. This is what you do here. This is what you do here. Oh, so
head.
so
Dr.
my mother
Influencer.
can't see them kind of things there. So no, and plus as a host, you have to have some level of decorum to you, as wild as you can be. Like, and you only know say me wild, me wind up on 3-4 girl one time. I'll wild on the old lady in the fete. I'll trouble people, but within reason. Again, my thing is always within reason.
Within whose reason?
Well, I would like to determine whether it's within my reason and or her reason. I'll try to establish that, but more so my reason. So
All right.
yeah, but no, that kind of thing is not the influential way.
All
No.
right.
So
So,
influential. You only do that in your private, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
So,
Yeah,
so,
man.
so,
okay. All right.
so
Okay.
all
All
that
right.
she could be like, so in your private. Is that what you're saying?
Okay.
We,
All right.
we're not discussing my
We're not
activities in
discussing his
private.
personal preferences here, okay? We're not discussing his personal preferences because we don't want his mother to know what he does behind closed doors. Okay?
All my mother
All
knows
right?
is that I shout on the mic, yeah, let's go.
Exactly.
No.
Yeah.
Wait. The only reason why I said that is because this man just said before his speech that he would have tell the girl to come to 452 or 542.
Exactly.
And we
Room
said,
512, he say. Room 512. I have it right down for
right,
everybody that
right.
listening.
So
Yeah.
if she wants to do that, she could do that. So I said, does that involve all of that? That's what I just said. That's all.
You said no, you asked if
Yeah.
she want the
Yeah.
ackee and surface special with the dumpling and the dasheen and the yam.
Yeah.
I said
Right.
we will have to talk about that in room 512, but it's not
So
doing that here.
here's my question, right? Here's my question to the panel, right? And to even those that want to get involved in the chats as well. That's live on YouTube. You see that clip, it brings a certain level of disappointment to you. You see the other clip, it brings a certain level of, okay, they look like they're having fun. Both of them are in the context of sexualizing the culture, right? Now, for someone who isn't familiar with our culture and just happen to wake up one morning and goes onto Instagram and they see that clip of Bacchanal Boys, and then they see the other clip, right? Would they
Yeah.
see anything different?
Yes, because
Mm.
like I said, if you know and understand and appreciate what Carnival is,
No, you
you
don't. You
know,
don't know it. You want to know it. You're trying to get to know it.
right? Okay, cool. So if you're trying to get to know it and you see that, you're supposed to be first and foremost the one with Bacchanal Boys. Your adult human kinky brain supposed to tell you, say, yo, that ain't for that. That
But
ain't for
somebody
that.
filming it. But somebody filming it. So
It
that
doesn't
is for
matter
that.
if no, it doesn't matter if somebody's filming it.
Okay.
Somebody filming you getting robbed. That is for that.
That is for that. That is for that.
I'm done talking
But
for the rest of the
that
evening.
is the norm, right? That is the norm, right? That everything is being filmed. So regardless if it's bad or good, it's being filmed. Because they'll quicker film it than say, you know what, we shouldn't be filming this. This is wrong. Let me just delete this one time. We won't delete it. We'll pass it on for somebody else to make a comment about it, for them to argue about it, to have a debate about it, before we do the right thing and just delete it and say, you know what, content worthy. This isn't something that we should highlight, because you will see negative posts and you will see positive posts, right? And some of the positive posts you see, you will still have a debate on it about, oh, this is not right or this is right, because everybody's point of view is different, as well as their experiences within what they're looking at is different. You understand? I say all of this because if I could take a minute to explain why it is I'm saying all of this. When I saw the Bacchanal Boys clip, I immediately thought, if somebody or say a police officer was passing and he saw that, he would be under the somebody would have to understand that, wait now, this woman's rights is being violated a little bit. Is she 100% herself to be carrying on that way? You understand me? If a woman looks at that, she'd be like, what is wrong with this man interfering with this little girl like that for? You understand me? Because those are the natural things and how people would think. And then there'll be the other sector will look at it and be like, wait, well, look at real Bacchanal, real niceness. You understand? And then this is where it comes back to, where do we draw the line there? Where do we show people and show the wider audience and the people who are viewing everything that we're doing from a wider perspective that this is wrong, right? And this is intolerable. Number two, when we look at the other video, without knowing that they're a couple, right? A young person who is watching that clip will go into a fete, see a girl that he likes, and think, you know what, I'm going to do the exact same thing because I think that's what it is I saw. I'm going to reenact that. And you can't say it's wrong because they saw it. Everybody's liking it. It seems acceptable because they're not going to read the comments, eh? They're not going to read the comments. They're not going to stop and think or stop and ask the question, does he know her? Does she know him? Because let's be real, within our community, there is a little bit of a divide where entertainment and enjoyment exists. You understand me? Within our own culture, right? And where that divide is, that space in between there is where we have so much negative that we're trying to portray as positive. And we're not nipping it in the butt. And we're not saying, you know what, this is wrong, we shouldn't be doing this. Or making sure that if somebody sees it and you have a platform where it is you're able to voice your opinion and people see it, that you introduce an understanding as opposed to just watching it. I'm not going to like that now because that's not right. And just letting it pass. Because somebody else is going to pick it up and they're going to consider that the norm, and then somebody's going to get hurt, and then they will turn and say, but I thought that is how it does go. I thought that is what my understanding is. And we all have that responsibility where it is we say no, if we know that it can have a cultural ramifications for it. And also, like I said, You open your eyes and you see something. You
But
cannot connect the dots if you just open your eye. It's impossible. So if you can't connect the dots when you open your eye, and your first thought process is, damn, you know what? That ain't looking too good enough. What are you supposed to do from there?
But it starts from the top, though. It starts from the top, as I was saying like earlier on. The artists are singing about slackness. Yeah.
Okay.
They're singing about the stuff. You've got artists who performing on stage, jumping on people's back. Yeah. Right. So if people are going to say, right, even if you didn't see anybody dancing slack or anybody doing anything, all they need to do is listen to a few tunes and they're going to hear a whole heap of slackness. Or they will go to a concert and say, for instance, you have a concert where there's like 5 or 6 artists, and one of those artists will be doing a whole heap of madness on stage with a gal. Yeah. So it's impossible, right? We're talking about, oh, let's not film, but it starts from the top. If they're going to be advertising, singing this kind of stuff, right, and performing in that kind of way, then all it's going to do is encourage people when they see it and think that that is the culture. At the moment in Jamaica, they've got a thing where they're saying that they're now banning from TV or any mainstream or radio, they're now banning any kind of songs which are sexual, anything to do with drugs, killing, and anything
And
like that.
promoting violence. 100% agree.
So the only place they'll be able to do all that, promote those people who are singing those kind of songs, right? Well, the only place they'll be able to do that is in social media on their own phones and stuff like that if they want to do that. But they're not going to be promoting that on the airwaves. So it's the same thing. People might say, oh, you know, we don't want that. But we can't complain about people looking at our culture and over-sexualizing it when you're going to have the people at the top acting like that, which then trickles down to the people who go to the parties are going to be watching madness on the stage, and then they're going to be getting on with, after they've had a few drinks, they're going to be doing all sorts because they think that's
so what responsibility should we hold then? If we say it's the people at the top, right? And we're then reenacting what the top is saying, right? Like there's a saying when I was growing up in school, follow faction monkey, right? You know, monkey see, monkey do. So we can't think for ourselves. We can't make
people
understanding for ourselves.
Yeah, so people can think for themselves, yes, but then that defeats the whole thing. What I said about Jamaica, so people can't think for themselves. Does that mean that because people are singing about?
No, but you see, and it always comes from the platform, in terms of thinking for yourself. If you're on a vocal platform where it is you're going to a wider audience and you don't know what ears it's falling on, you have that responsibility. If it is you're on social media, and parents will have the responsibility to their kids or whatever, right? And we can't govern all of that. But what we can do is encourage, right? Encourage a certain level of this is acceptable here and it's not acceptable here. You understand? And these are the little things that we all need to do within our community and within our homes, right? To show and help our young people get through that tough terrain of that little part in between there where it is we're not 100% sure if it's right or it's wrong. You understand? Because especially a lot of young ladies, it's be real difficult for them. Like I'm DJing, right? And I just see it. Like the way how guys would approach them, I would say, I'm sure they probably see that. I see it on that video the other day. I see it on that video. And I would see them trying to reenact the same thing. Or they will just grab a girl and be like, yeah, that's what she wants. Because it's 100% mirroring what they've seen and what they understand to be the right way or the best approach in order to gain maximum enjoyment within the entertainment.
But then I just saw a comment just now about somebody said in the 90s that, they weren't doing all of this kind of stuff, which is true. They weren't dancing like that. Was it beforehand? And it's, as I said, it's like, I think that our culture is become very sexualized, and it's also very like we also take on a lot of things from America as well. Was it in the Caribbean? We look at America, a lot of stuff is a big influence on some of the things that we are doing as well. Was it when it comes to sexualization? And was it Black people have always been used in that kind of way being put out there. The record companies have always, doesn't matter, not just soca, but they've, you know, like say for instance, you've got hip hop and R&B and everything like that. They've always made it where the women, the black women, were very, very sexualized, and that's where the terms, derogatory terms like bitch, hoe, and all of this came out. And these are the things that we're celebrating. And then what happens is it trickles down, and we start calling people bitches, we start calling people hoes. You know, I mean, girls start thinking that it's okay to act certain ways, and then the songs that they're talking about are, you know, I mean, take people man, you know, I mean, wind up on people man, you know, doing, you know, I mean, also you being a whole stripping, you know, I mean, all these kind of things. No, but I'm just trying to say, just in general, these are the things what are being put out there. That's why we've been over sexualized. So if you're going back, as the comment, if we're going back to the 90s, you see, it wasn't as, don't get me wrong, it started those times, but it wasn't as bad. If you go back even further than that, people weren't, they weren't doing that. I remember, come on, when you remember growing up, a certain time, all you used to do is see on TV 2 people kissing, yeah, and then the door would close, and that was your imagination that they were getting on. Right now, you see, now you see everything. It doesn't matter what time of day you're seeing it. So, was it, if we're not going to, you have to start from the top, because the influence comes onto the visuals of what you see online and the TV and what you're hearing. So if you're going to be hearing those kind of songs, which, you know, how many years ago wouldn't even be acceptable, wouldn't have been even being able to play, if we're going to be hearing that kind of stuff, right, then obviously it's going to go into our brainwaves, and we're going to act out some of those things. And if we're acting out some of those things, then obviously some things are going to get wet. So within reason, of course, we're sexual. It's fine to be sexual and dance up and everything like that. But when you're seeing like how that video clip was, you know, I mean, somebody looking in who doesn't know anything about this kind of culture, if that's all they're going to be able to think that our culture is, then it's a shame, because if there's a lot more to our culture, and soca is a fantastic thing.
Yeah.
I definitely appreciate and agree with everything that everyone's saying as well. But at the same time, like what Trisha just said as well, where's the responsibility from you, the end, quote unquote, the end user? Like, we're all grown, adult, sensible. Like, for example, if you are ever in central London when Chinese New Year celebrations are happening, you're not there saying, oh my God, is this? No, you go and do your research, you go and ask, you go and find out, you dig deeper. You understand? So if you don't understand someone's culture and you're seeing it being exhibited in a certain way, do your due diligence and do your research and ask fully, just to make sure you have a fuller understanding. But people don't like to do that when it comes to Black culture. They like to just jump headfirst in and indulge in it, because again, it's so vibrant, it's so inviting, it's so exciting. You understand? And that's where again it comes into marketing, packaging, and then again, like what we said, Isaac, when it's the culture of things, because for example, nobody does that when the ladies and the men are dancing in Madras, for example, no one's jumping in to say, oh my God, let me learn about this, let me try this. No, there's no interest to learn how to dance in Madras or any other Caribbean, Afro-Caribbean traditional dancing and dancing the attire. But as soon as it's to put on a costume or wear some hoochie daddy shorts and show off your muscles, everybody know what to do. Everybody's all for it. From it's time to go in the water, in the paint, in the powder, in the mud, everybody knows what to do. But if it's to go and learn some dinky mini or some junkunu or learn how to
belly dancing,
or all these things, nobody don't want to learn how to do that. Nobody's not trying to jump in and learn that and appreciate that. But when it's the easier thing, because it's easy to wind up your waist, it's the one that everybody loves. Everybody that we target and put in the fingers at and say, oh my God, they're culturally, appropriating us. What aspect of the culture are they appropriating? The one that's the easiest, the one that's the most vibrant and, so quote unquote heightens the state. But then when we say to them, oh, come and learn this bit of it, nah, they ain't got time for that again. Nah, there's no time for that. So it's a catch-22. It's a double-edged sword.
I hear you. On that, so influential. If you want to give your final remarks right now on, well, obviously, speak about the Soca Weekender, but give your final remarks on where you see yourself being an advocate for the culture within entertainment.
I see myself as a person that will administer and instruct within reason the best possible level of enjoyment. That's what
Mhm.
I'm there for. Whether your enjoyment is to sit by the bar and sip your drink, and influential should not come anywhere near you and disturb you and whine on your knee, or you would like me to pick you up, put you on my back, and run around the dance with you, I can do both within the reasonable spectrum. I'm all about letting people enjoy, themselves when they come out any of the events, and especially at Soca Weekend the next year. It's going to be a vibe, so make sure you're there. And again, I'm also happy to teach and also learn and appreciate that people enjoy the culture in their own little way. Like we said earlier, Lisa might not dance, or the song Platt by Umpa from St. Lucia might not resonate in the same way with you that it does with Rachel or somebody else. So I've got to appreciate that I can't expect you to always be on the same frequency as me with every single song, because there might be a song that you love. Like, oh my God, this is my song, and I give you your time to sing out and dance, and then as long as I've given you your time and your space to enjoy yourself, I've done what I need to do, and I've been a great advocate and ambassador. And of course, if you need to be on 100, I can meet you at 100. If you want to be on 5, I can meet you at 5. And that's me for tonight. Thank you very much, everybody. Don't forget Soca Weekender. That's Soca, and then Weekender spelled WKNDR. Follow the page. Let's get more and more of us out there. And blessings. Thanks for having me, Hot Sauce. This has been really saucy. We got the whole panel,
You
and I'll
was
see you soon.
you use a towel? You use a towel. All right, okay.
Yeah, I use a towel, a real towel.
All
Yeah,
right.
hot,
Cool.
steamy. Yeah, steamy.
Yeah. Thank you very much, influential. Rachel, if I can go to you on your final remarks this evening.
Um, all I can say is this: we have to just take responsibility for our culture. Um, was it what we put out there and our economical growth, right? Because, as I said, sometimes it's good that we enjoy the fun times because we love to have fun. Our culture is a
Mhm.
fun culture. It's a happy culture. You say it's a bright culture, you know. But we also have to be, look at the other things. There's more serious things about our culture, with it, and try to move forward, so that we can be economically powerful as well, because we have a fantastic brand.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Rachel. And let them know about your focus group that you're a part of or you're the boss of. And also, well, I'm buying a car anytime soon, but if you have one line around that you want to give me, I will take it.
So that again,
If you
if
have
you
a
want,
little car, if you have a little Mercedes hanging around
yeah,
somewhere that you want to take off your hands, it's not a problem, eh? No problem.
listen, if you want a Mercedes Benz, you just come and find me, Mrs. Boss 001 Instagram. Just message me and I can sort it out. And I'm sure you have me. Listen, I'm even on your Facebook, so you can just message me if you want a car. So I don't even know what you're talking about. Listen, if you really want a car, I don't want no tire kicker. If you really want a car, you will just message me and say, yes, Rich, Mrs. Boss, sort me out a car, man. So
All
you know where to come, or you can come and follow me on my platform on FB Community Debate if you want to debate all the time. I have a
Thank
debate.
you.
All right.
Thank you very much, Rachel. Now, your closing remarks with regards to from your positioning within the culture um, and entertainment. How can you better ambassador that?
How come everyone disappeared?
Oh, they just left. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's Halloween time now. It's coming up to 12 o'clock.
Everybody just left the building, boy.
Yeah.
Right, sorry. You wanted my final
Yeah.
thoughts. Okay. So, as I said before, I think in some cases with some people, there was a lot of fake outrage.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people just need to calm the F down. Like, let's stop normalizing fake outrage, you know, and stop normalizing, slackness going viral. If it's about culture, well, let it be about culture. There's obviously different elements to our culture, but let's have let's normalize the very cultured things, cultured costumes, cultured entertainment. Let's normalize those things and give it the props, give it its flowers, give it the likes, the engagement that it also deserves, as well as the wilder side of things to our culture. Let's be fair in how we do that. No point sitting down behind your keyboard complaining about a video of a man and a woman walking up, winding up, and then on the other flip side, something that is content that is a lot more valuable is not being appreciated. Let's be fair, and let's give the love all around. Let's normalize cultured content. Let's try and be in a habit of trying to ensure that our cultured content does go viral, does have a viral moment, isn't shadow banned or anything like that. That's what I'm saying on that. What else? Yeah. I think that's pretty much most of. Yeah, I'm just looking at some notes. That's kind of where I stand on it. I just want us to normalize the culture.
Thank you very much, Nai. My final point of view is it's all well and good that we can say we want to normalize it, but we all have to lead by example, and set the standard, and we maintain the standard individually within our own personal platforms. Like, I do my radio show every Sunday morning. I'm back on the radio, and my show is engaging, uplifting, empowering, and always trying to be positive about the culture. And my show is not only just soca music. It's we start off with You Give Hope Club Classics, where it is the songs I play within the first half an hour of a show on a Sunday morning. It gives you that feel-good feeling to start your day, And then you play some reggae music where it is, people like to hear a little reggae on a Sunday morning. And I believe that if it is we maintain those structures and we maintain that positive side of things, it will make a small little dent that could just get wider and wider. And perseverance, that's the word I will use. Persevering through all the nonsense, through all the high-rise swing dongs and drop kicks that these girls and fellas just want to be doing inside the party, when they're not giving you the other side of the story, that they're in hospital and they've broken their vertebrae and now they have to use a wheelchair for the rest of their life, or they can't do that same move ever in life again. You don't get that side of the story. You only get that 15-second clip. Then you want to use that as a catalyst to go and do that here, there, and everywhere. Everybody just enjoy yourself. Be conscious of who is going to be around you, paying attention to what you're doing. If it is you want to have a little bit of class about it, or if it is you choose to just be wajang about it, that is down to you. But remember, within our culture, somebody always macroing your business. Within our culture, somebody will always macro your business. This is Slayer's Hot Sauce. Or you see my tie down. I'm running for office 2022. I'm looking to be the next Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Vote for me. Follow me on Instagram at Super Trini Vibes. And yeah, next week Friday, Just Vibes, we have an event in Brixton. Come and check it out from 6 to 12. Where we just nice everything. It's a Hawaiian Halloween party. So get your Hawaiian shirt, you know, and come on the road and enjoy yourself. But from us here at Slayers, hot sauce tonight, watch me, is the question, eh? Where is the line for juicy content? Listen, that's the question of the night. Where is the line for juicy content? Think for yourself. Good night,
Where do
everybody.
you draw the line?
No. I just want to know where the line is. I just want to know where the line is because I can't see it. It is not visible. I just want to see the line. And then I will know if I could draw it a little. You see how my coloring pencil here? I want to just make it a little, you know, darker. That's all. Make it a little bit more visible. That's all. You know, please and thanks. Everybody have a good night. And we'll see you all in 2 weeks again for Slayers Hot Sauce. That's the thanks to the management as always. We gone. Boom.